So basically, this is our workshop. We are a small architectural firm. Both me and Hanju have been studied from uh, Architectural Association in London, and we have been really pushing our firm to be like really kind of doing interesting architectural practice that is highly connected to our research agenda. So our research agenda have been really computationally driven, and we have been quite interested in this kind of also formal and aesthetic aspect of use of different scripting tools, simulation tools, to really see how this kind of generativeness of computer coding and computer modeling techniques can really inspire us in terms of generating new geometries, new aesthetics, and also new types of architectural space. So most of these things you are seeing, these are quite old by now, but we do work from products to installations to furniture to uh, pavilions, and we are trying to also uh, hopefully we also want to build something big and proper. Most of our work, as you can see, that there is a conceptual kind of research behind, which is using computer generativeness, but also a huge part of our, also another agenda is to really execute it physically. And lately we have been also dealing with fabrication, material-driven studies to really kind of execute the digitally generated complex forms into physical reality. So that is one part of our research. And today, in this workshop, we are going to share the more computational part of our research. So less about material, but more about the interesting bit where we generate geometries and very specific tool sets that we developed for our students. So we have a lot of different methods to deal with different types of generativeness in terms of geometry in space. Yeah, these are some portfolios that we have been working on, different types of projects and everything. So I want to share a few things that is more connected to what we are going to do today. This is, I am currently a full-time teacher at SCIARC, Southern California Institute of Architecture. And here we have been also exploring the similar ideas of using generative method and very simple coding to generate architecture spaces and creating architectural translation using this kind of very sculptural kind of geometries, digital geometries. So this, you can see that there it was a workshop that we have been dealing with, asking students to generate these geometries and translating that into some kind of architectural chunks and using interesting ways to represent it, in this case using application, AR application, especially to understand the scaleness of it. So this obviously is for very young students, but it has been quite efficient and effective. And this method has been pushed to really to, let me see, to kind of pushed to create architectural representation and really understand these geometries as architectural form and space. So this is a student work that we have done last year with SciArc students, where you can see that they developed using this methodology to develop interesting architectural form and spaces and try to understand it as in this case, it's esports arena. So that was our kind of product brief, project brief. So far, do you have any question? So this is some. I'm just gonna fast forward, which all these projects are online, shared on our website. And this kind of video making also has been a huge part of the effort. So in this in this workshop, we are also going to talk about how we literally achieved some of this using game engine. So yeah, if you don't mind, I will just play this video until the end. It's just to kind of show you what kind of things they have been done. Maybe I can just
technologies to the consumer. Gaming pods are placed within and in between each
Can you
retail
hear
unit. Opportunities for
sound?
pause and exploration are found throughout the lobby. When entering the theater spaces from the lobby, one is compressed through the open desk gaming threshold and then released into the bottom theater. In the theaters, screens open and close to provide an intimate setting for small.
So as you can see that one part of this project was about modeling and creating these architectural spaces, but also a big part of it is how to represent this space with highly edited videos. As this is a esports arena, they have been also trying to kind of use this kind of UI kind of design and this kind of pop-up screens to explain their narrative. So I think that has been a huge part of uh, the study itself. Um, and so today, what we are going to share is the tool sets and methodology we developed for last to be second year SciArc students work. And I'm going to share with you these videos, what students achieved with these tools. And this was also used for our competition entry. So you will be able to create, we are going to share how we have done to create this kind of proposal. So in this case, we have created this, we have created this terrain in Unity, and also organize the landscape, as well as generating this very preliminary geometries to create a villa complex. And this was quite a rational version of it. And this tool has been also developed together with students, and you will be able to
Hey, Soming.
hey.
Are you guys doing all this through Unity, or are you like importing it from some other software?
So Unity will be the main portion of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and of course we had a little bit of rationalization in Rhino after we generate preliminary geometries, but most of the main generative logic has been done all in Unity. So this was also a ways to kind of clean up a little bit of the whole workflow to be able to share and develop it together with students. Yeah, so it's a developed package that we designed for this semester. So we are that's what we are going to share today. But let me just play this video. I think the video is corrupted, so I'm going to find it. Give me 1 second, please. I'm going to play this video.
The Eagle Mountain Desert area has been closely observed for the past decades. Inhabitants have come and gone, and proposals for new ways to occupy the area have been repeatedly shut down. The reason behind these failed attempts is the inability to adapt to the strange occurrences in the area. For reasons still unknown, biological and geological processes that usually take place through the span of centuries or even a millennium occur in only a fraction of the time in the area. As word of these spectacular scenes of nature spread, multitudes of people would gather to see them take place. Through years of observation, patterns in these processes were detected. The stages of this terrain's lifespan, from growth and expansion all the way to decomposition, have an alarming effect on the vast spread of land. Many filmmaking teams have been closely monitoring this unusual activity. After an overwhelming amount of data and footage demonstrating the site's wonders, these occurrences initiated a boom in the film industry that went so far as to construct a permanent film studio together with a seasonal film festival in the heart of Eagle Mountain. Part of this project was to observe the effects that these natural processes had on the site as well as on its artificially produced components. As the studio and festival progressed, the land recognized these structures as another part of itself, rather than something detached or immune to its effects. Previously bloomed vegetation soon dies and decomposes, and, as is evident in nature, only leads to faster expansion of its organic components. Spans of desert fungi and lichens paint colorful canvases and drip blobs of paint onto the film structures, eventually claiming interiors and exteriors of studio buildings as their own. Accretions of organic matter gathering in every dark corner and crevice. Concrete monuments are covered by unusual species of plants and fungi. Things that should not exist anywhere near the area are effortlessly created.
So this film is a little bit long, so I'm going to add a little bit of explanation. So I'm going to show you 3 different projects using the same sets of tools. And this is a student group's interpretation. And the studio brief was about creating a film studio complex and film festival ground in a desert called Eagle Mountain in California, near Los Angeles. So this project, they have interpreted this uh, this kind of task that they created this biological greenhouse where they can actually uh, expand and grow over time. Uh, that coexist with their filming kind of activity, film studio and film festival, to provide shading, also provide some kind of desert plant growing kind of activities. And most importantly, the studio area has been really utilizing the tool sets we're going to introduce, and they of course, they post-produced these very interesting geometries into quite successfully into this kind of really nice interiority and the building geometries. And it has been really proven that this method really helped students to kind of develop three-dimensional modeling ability and being able to create really intricate 3D spaces. Yeah, hopefully this method we kind of introduce will be useful for you as well. So yeah, so this is one project. Another one is this one. In this project, Jimmy and David, they interpreted the, uh, the project concept with the animal species. So they created film studio area Normal film studios, like it's a complex, it's a lot of buildings where you have a lot of different sound stages. So you can film different kind of films, and maybe some of the streetscapes are like fake streetscapes. So it looks like future or it looks like 80s. So they kind of really design their studio complex in this futuristic kind of sceneries in this desert area. And then there's another part of their project is animal laboratory where they grow and cohabit with desert animal species, and they are claiming that these animals are also part of their filming activities. They can use these animals in their movies and films. And what's quite interesting is that they're also showing what kind of contents they might create. Also, we are going to show how you animate people and follow this animation with your camera angle. So the filming representation has been quite efficient using these tool sets in game engine. So what has been also really good about using game engine to develop architecture projects is that normally in our working pipeline, we design our building and then we put it to another rendering software and you render it, right? And you probably sometimes feel like the the view so it's pretty linear, but in this case we choose the camera angles and the camera passes in a really early on stage, and you can keep on replacing the geometries and contents over and over. So the entire production and project development has been developed in a continuous loop. So you can always change a view and change the model in the same time. So it has been it's quite efficient way of working, because when you are representing a building, you always if you are dealing with such a huge kind of architectural space or proposal, you really don't have to design every single aspect of your building. Um, but you will really need to understand which part are going to be shown in your chosen representation result or product. In this case, you are doing that all in the same time and in a very early on stage. So we believe that use of these ways of working in real-time rendering engine is the kind of right direction in our working pipeline. Yeah, so this has been all produced in the same time, also including the UI design and switching the scenes, and all of the different editing. So there's very little, or we encouraged no post-production. So you can also produce sound, you can produce anything. So basically all in one package is the most ideal scenario. So this is one project. So at the end, they also created like this kind of greenhouse situation where you have a actor and animal character, and this is a actual sci-fi movie content. They are foreseeing what kind of the contents that they're creating from their film studio space. Yeah, and the last one in this project is a similar. They proposed a film studio and film festival, but with a data server, where what they are kind of proposing is a lot of YouTubers and the visitors come to the site and they can create content and they upload it to a data server, and this data server using their AI and creating and editing the final contents using these contents. So if I just fast forward, they were also talking about some YouTubers are shooting using different AR tools. I'm going to just fast forward this. And a lot of different areas were designed. A very big site with a huge ground, but this part is the film studio where they really put some effort on. And when you enter the building, you can actually see different small and big studios to create different contents. Like these kind of contents are foreseeably created there, and they go downstairs into an uploading center, and they upload their contents. And eventually, these are the data servers, and different data server tower will create different contents by AI. So we thought maybe in the nowadays everything is like maybe generated by AI, and why not maybe in the future maybe there will be a broadcast station that have all the contents generated by AI. So we kind of foresee that kind of world in this film. So anyways, there are a lot of different aspects in these films, but I kind of skipped through. But what we want to stress is that not only the architectural design itself is important, but also how it's going to be represented and showed is also important. So in this workshop, we are going to deal with both, and specifically these three projects are literally what we have used. So that's what we are going to share this time.